When Colorado legalized the recreational use of marijuana, the use by adults increased and the perception of risk declined, especially among young people. Ever since, the state has struggled with how to explain that something you said is okay to use actually does have some risks. Well, that's the job of Colorado's drug czar. David Common asked him for advice as legalization looms in this country.
One of the battles we are losing is teens don't see marijuana as significantly harmful to their health in the long term.
Andrew Friedman, Colorado's drug czar, has a problem, and he says the government started it.
And because it's the big man talking to either somebody who's used cannabis before, or youth who in general don't trust government's voice on marijuana, and frankly, for good reason. I mean, there's been a lot of hyperbole coming from the government about marijuana for a long time.
This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs.
For much of the 80s and 90s, government advertising merged all drugs into the same warning,
just say no,
equating marijuana as just as harmful as cocaine. Well, it isn't. Compared to alcohol, even prescription drugs, weed seems like not such a big deal.
I think it's harmless. I've never heard of anyone die from it.
I feel like it really opens your mind to another world beyond this world, you know? It really helps you see the truth.
Today, the social media feeds for teens and 20-somethings can look like this, listing marijuana's purported benefits. Most of these, mind you, are not proven.
Since the Prime Minister started supporting medical marijuana, I think it increased the amount of other people who support it as well.
Well, Canada is now on the cusp of legalizing recreational use, and we can learn how to talk to young people about pot from Colorado's experience.
There are different ways of talking about the message. There are new opportunities in a legalized world to kind of meet them where they are, rather than saying, hey, listen, this is going to destroy your life. I think they see it as something that could get in the way of getting a job, of getting good grades, of making the sports team. And so if we can tap into enough of those messages and really have a conversation with them about what are your goals and ambitions, and does marijuana really fit into the picture for you for that? I think that can be a really powerful conversation, maybe even more powerful than, hey, this is a really harmful drug.
Set, hike!
So Colorado's ads today focus on the effects on family.
You passed.
Or the ability to pass a driving test, even though Colorado knows of greater permanent risks from marijuana use.
There's a study that shows a 6 to 8 point IQ drop off of occasional use of marijuana.
But that is not Colorado's public message. And if Canada tries something similar, says Friedman, it's money down the drain.
I think ignoring reality and ignoring what their current perceptions are and just hoping that they'll do whatever you tell them to do from the state government is not a message that will work. And so if you don't meet them where they are, it's just a wasted campaign.
If you think that won't work, you should know it already has.
Tobacco had the same problem. They said kids understood 100% the harms of tobacco, and we couldn't get tobacco usage to go down even as their understanding of the harms went up. It wasn't until the Truth campaign and this message that said, hey, big tobacco is taking you for a ride, and you're being basically puppets in their campaign, that was a message that suddenly got through.
Combined with hiking taxes on cigarettes, adding on-package warnings, it was ads like this that actually broke through to teens.
I'm stuck with T-Pop who smells like a foot while my squad's at the movies and they're seeing something good. If I didn't smoke, I'd have the cash to go too. I miss him so bad. I'm squadless.
Colorado believes the same approach will work to reduce pot use by teens.
It's not clear they'll ever believe us to say this is how harmful this is. And so I do think that there are new and other messages to give to youth, which is, hey, when you're using marijuana and they believe this, you're not going to do as well in school. And so if doing well in school is a goal that you have, you shouldn't be a marijuana user. And And if you want to make your athletics team, or if you want to hold down a steady job, all of those things, using marijuana can be an impediment to your goals.
Friedman is also a stickler on timing. Colorado, he says, was late talking to teenagers about marijuana legalization. Campaigns should start about a year ahead of time, and by that measure, Canada's now there. David Common, CBC News, Denver.